جايين من كل مكان، الصويرة زينة البلدان، زوروا ونرجع فرحان. كالضبيل وللهيلولة، حوض السلاح وثوم حيلة، نضربوا شوفار الليلة.
Shalom Barucha, I would like to wish you Hanukkah Sameach, and I would like to bless you, that Hashem give you bracha v'etzlacha b'riut v'ezat Hashem. This week, v'ezat Hashem, it's Hanukkah. Hanukkah. What is this Hanukkah? Hanukkah, it's we light the candles. You know, the children love light. The children, they love donut. We do donut, they love them. The children like presents. We give them presents on Hanukkah. But really, Hanukkah, it's not something that we have to ignore. There is a reason why we do Hanukkah. I would like my friend to tell you a small story that I read. There was a big rabbi that one day he went to see Rav Shach alav shalom. This rabbi, his name is Rabbi Aryeh Shechter alav shalom. He went to see not Rav Shach. He went to see Rav Chaim Kanivsky. You know, he's a big tzaddik that is still he's alive. He's a big Rav. He lived in Bnei Brak. And he went to see him. They were good friends. So Rav Chaim Kanivsky asked him, "Tell me, my friend, you are my chavrota. When we were young, we used to study Torah together. I would like to ask you one question. Did you read in your life the Zohar? I know that you are a big rabbi. You read a few times all the Talmud. You read all the Torah. But what about the Zohar? Did you read the Zohar in your life?" So he told him, "No, I never read the Zohar in my life, because the Zohar is the secret of the Torah. I don't need to know the secret of the Torah. I prefer to read, the Torah that I understand. I don't need the secret of the Torah. What's going on in the Shamayim, what's going on here, because the Zohar talk about the future. It talk about what happened before, because every mitzvah that we do, there is the secret of the mitzvah. Usually we have emunah, yes or no? Usually when we do Birkat Hamazon, when we eat bread, we have to do Birkat Hamazon. Why? To thank Hashem. Why this kind of Birkat Hamazon? Well, you have to do it, that's it. Why we don't say just thank you Hashem, that's it? Why we need to read all the prayer? Why in the morning when we wake up we need to do tefillin? Why there is mitzvot? Why each mitzvah has its reason, and beside the reason there is a spiritual reason, a secret of the things that we don't know. I would like just to tell you something that maybe you never heard. The Arizal HaKadosh said that when a woman she's pregnant, she's not allowed to pass through a butcher, a not kosher butcher. So the question is what? What the problem? What the problem? What the problem to see not kosher food? What the problem? And especially we should not, when we pass through a restaurant and you can smell the food of the restaurant, we're not allowed to smell. I mean, you have to avoid smelling. But if you have no choice, you must pass, and you have to smell. So because you suffer, Hashem, he don't consider like it, because he had no choice. But on purpose, he are not to smell, a not kosher steak. You are not allowed. We like to smell the odor the smell of the steak. But if it's not kosher, you are not allowed. So why? I mean, in reality, there is no reason. It's only according to the Kabbalah we are not allowed. Secret, why? The Zohar Kadosh, the Arizal said something incredible. The Zohar said, look, this piece of meat, if it's not kosher. Because it's not kosher, so that piece of meat, there is a tum'ah on it. There is tum'ah. There is impurity. And this impurity, if you look at it, you join the beautiful piece of steak that is not kosher, so you bring toward you the tum'ah. This is the Kabbalah. This is the secret. I would like to ask you a question. If you pass through a not kosher butcher and you see a nice piece of steak, do you see the tum'ah? No. You see the steak. You see a kosher steak on the right, and not kosher steak on the left. They are exactly the same, equal, the same weight, the same color, everything. But this one, there is kedusha, and this one, there is tum'ah. Do you see the kedusha of the kosher steak? No. Do you see the tum'ah and the not kosher steak? No. So how you attract toward you the tum'ah of the steak of the no kosher steak? How? This is the secret of the Torah. So you understand, my friend, that's what the secret of the Torah. Usually, we don't need them, but we have to read them. But before I tell you what it is the reason that we have to read them, the secret of the Torah, now I would like to tell you a story that happened with me when I was in Los Angeles, maybe 20 years ago. There was a man that always, this man, he begged me to go to put a mezuzah in his supermarket. It was not kosher supermarket, but he begged me. I said, I don't want to go there. I don't want to see the tariff. And he told me, yes, but Rabbi, the most important is that you don't eat it. So what? He said, yes, but you know, the Arizal forbidden that we see something not kosher. So I don't eat. Look, my friend. So he told me, what about when you're on the plane? Huh? When you're on the plane, so they serve food to everybody. You are the only Jew. So maybe they will give you a kosher food, maybe they will not give you kosher food. So on all the plane, there is only not kosher food. So what you gonna do? You see food everywhere. You see them, how they serve them. You see the meat. You see all the kosher food. So what do you see people eating cheese with meat? Why it doesn't hurt your mind? So I told him, first, I try not to look, but if I have to look, I have no choice. I mean, I'm not looking to look. I'm not searching to look. So if I look, Hashem forgive me. There is no choice. I'm the plane. I'm not going to go out of the plane. I need the parachute. Where am I going to go? No. So Hashem understand. But on purpose, I'm not allowed. So, my friend, for 2 years he was begging me. Suddenly, one day, I told him, I have a problem with you. He told me what? He said, every time I see you, this is a true story, my friends. Huh? Every time I see you, I think about the head of the pig, of the chazer. So he started to laugh. He said, what? Do I look like that man? His name was Aryeh. Aryeh, Yehuda Aryeh. He told me, my name is Yehuda, my name is Aryeh, and my grandfather was a big rabbi. I mean, how can you tell me that when you see me, you see the face of the pig? I said, look, I'm sorry, I told you, don't be hurt, but I would like just to ask you one question. Really, do you want me to go to see your supermarket? He said, yes. If you come to see the supermarket, I forgive you for the hurt that you hurt me. You upset me. I said, okay, I go with you. Just to make you, to give you satisfaction. So I went with him. The supermarket was in Orange, a place in Los Angeles called Orange County, I don't remember. And then he started to make me visit you the supermarket. I told him, please do me a favor. I prefer not to see nothing. You want me to give the bracha? I give the bracha. I know that you don't eat not kosher. I give the bracha. I want you, Rabbi, to put me a mezuzah in my office. I said, okay. And I saw his office. It was exactly next to he had a big refrigerator, a freezer, and that freezer was so big. So he put there a small office in that big freezer. It was I told him, what do you have here? He said, well, Rabbi, I prefer not to enter. I don't want you to see there. I told him, why? This is the rest of your office. No, he said, no. This office was big. This refrigerator, freezer was very big. So we put half my office and half is the freezer. So can I see what there is inside? He said, please, Rabbi, I don't want you to see. So the more he told me not to see, I was curious. I said, no, I want to see. He had no choice. He opened. I promise you, I was shocked. When he opened the freezer, there was there about 100 heads of pig. I started laughing. He said, I know why you laugh. I know why you laugh. I understand. When you look at something, so you look like it. So I understand. I will do my best. Especially, I am a Jew. I'm not allowed to eat chazer. And now I understand you. And Baruch Hashem, he sold that business. And Baruch Hashem helped him. He did another business. But every time I see him, he laughs. Every time I see him, he laughs and I laugh. We laugh, we know why we laugh. That's it. You understand, my friend? This is something that we have to know. So, my friend, Alav Shalom, Ari Schechter, Alav Shalom, he asked the Prime Kanivsky, he told him, why you want me to read the Zohar? He told him, my friend, Be'ezat Hashem, when Mashiach will come, all the Torah that we've been reading before Mashiach comes, that it will be the Torah that we will read when Mashiach will come. But if we don't read the secret of the Torah now, when Mashiach will come, we will not have the opportunity to study them. And when Mashiach will come, you will suffer. You will suffer why you didn't study the secret of the Torah before Mashiach. It's like if you wait for a train to come, if you miss the time, you lost the train, and that's it. Just imagine if there is only one train in life. Imagine there is only one plane in all your life. There is one plane that will come, and it will take you, and that plane will come 100 years after. Only once in each 100 years. So anyone that you will not catch it, finish. You must wait 100 years or never. So this is, my friend, something that we have to know. That the more we study Torah, now, before Mashiach comes, Be'ezat Hashem, so that's what will be reading when Mashiach will come. So, you should not miss it. My friend, to enjoy Shabbos, you have to prepare Shabbos. if you don't prepare food for Shabbos, so there will be no food for Shabbos. Well, you wake up in the morning to work, you have parnasa. You don't wake up in the morning to work, there will be no parnasa. So according to what you do, you will get. You don't do, you don't get. So this is, my friends, something that we have to understand. You know, the Talmud said when Mashiach will come, all the holidays that we have, they will be postponed. There will be no Pesach anymore. There will be no Shavuot. Because the Shavuot is to remember that we receive the Torah. When Mashiach will come, we'll be studying Torah non-stop. And we will understand the Torah million times more than how we understand it today. So when Mashiach will come, we will not do Pesach. Why? Because we'll be talking about the celebration of Mashiach. So for us, Pesach, it was the past. We will not be talking about the exile, about Sukkot. We will not be talking about Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, because there will be no Rosh Hashanah and Kippur anymore, because there will be no Yetzer Hara, there will be no sin anymore. So there is nothing that Hashem will forgive. We'll be all tzaddikim, no problem. But Hanukkah and Purim, we will stay celebrated. Only those two. So now I ask you, all the festivals that the Torah gives us, they will be supreme. We only do a zecher. We will remember them a little bit, but there will be nothing special. But Hanukkah and Purim, it's the rabbis who told us to do Hanukkah and Purim. Purim, for Haman, that he wanted to kill the Jews, and Baruch Hashem, he didn't kill us. That it's the same way that Haman, he did not have success to kill the Jews. So all the Shoah that we've been through since Haman till now, it will not happen, because that miracle of Purim, it will be a miracle for till Mashiach will come. And my friend, Hanukkah, what the Greek wanted to do? The Greek wanted that there be no religion. We will forget the Torah. No Milah, no Bris Milah, no Tefillin, no Shabbos, no Mikvah, no Nida, no kosher, nothing. So you know, without religion, no Torah, without religion, it's finito. We are can you imagine 52 years in the Rome and the Greek, they were in Israel. Anyone who respect Torah and mitzvot, they killed him. That's it. No. And they treat them like Greek. Olympic Games, they train them just to be happy, to be musculation, to do sport, to run. Finito Torah, finito Judaism. Allez, they go to university. Allez, be philosophe. There is no God. There is nothing. You are the God. You know, the Greek, they used to believe anyone who, when they saw a beautiful woman, for them, she was God for them. For them, a man that has a lot of muscular, strong, like Hercules, he was God for them. The beauty was God for them. They were nude, because they said, well, you have to show your body. If you have a nice body, to show it to everybody. That's crazy. This is darkness. This is not crazy. That was the Greek. And the Jewish people, unfortunately, they failed. And the Baruch Hashem, the Hashmonaim came, and they fight the Greek. They fight again because they wanted to bring back the Judaism to Israel. The Hashmonaim, they saw the end of the Judaism. With no Torah, there is darkness. With no Torah, there is no God. There is nothing. There is no Hashem. There is nothing. I mean, can you imagine? Every morning we say, thanks to Hashem that I am Jew. Why you have to thank Hashem every morning? When you wake up, thank you Hashem that I am Jew. Why? Because Yehudi is Jewish. Yehudi, that means the name of God. Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. The name, every Jew has the name of Hashem. Thank you Hashem that you make me believe on you. But to believe on Him, it's only with the Torah. Without the Torah, it's impossible to believe on Him. It's impossible. My friend, Chanukah is the secret. You know, my friend, you don't see the secret of Chanukah. You don't see the secret of Chanukah. All this history because of Chanukah. So what? Why we did a big deal for this? What a big deal. So okay, the Hashmonaim won the war. They came to the Beit HaMikdash. So they started to look for oil. They find some oil. And it was a miracle. You know, my friend, Jewish people, they live with miracles all the time. All the time. Look, my friend, there was somebody with corona, 8 months in the coma. 8 months in the coma here in Israel. 8 months. And for the doctors, he should die 8 months ago. And the doctor, this never saw something like that. You know, it's something that it's incredible, incredible. But my friend, his family were praying, and before, look, listen to this, my friend. Before they put him in the coma, this man, 8 months ago, he told them, when I woke up, we will do a big Chanukah. And he woke up in the week of Chanukah. Can you imagine? Before they put him to sleep, before they put him in the coma, because he couldn't breathe, he said, well, Be'ezat Hashem, we will be celebrating Chanukah. Baruch Hashem, he woke up last week, after 8 months. He woke up last week after 8 months. 8 months in the coma. But the doctors was incredible. And he said, when I was in the coma, I saw everything. I saw my friend praying for me. My friend, Chanukah, it's the spiritual light. That's why we light Chanukah. It's not because it was a miracle. My friend, I saw millions of miracles in my life. Only last week, there was a woman that she had a stroke, big stroke. For the doctors, it's finished. But her children, they prayed, and they give tzedakah, and they prayed, and they prayed, and they prayed. But the doctor is finished. By tonight, by tomorrow morning, prepare a way to bury her. And she woke up Friday morning like she had no stroke, nothing. The doctor couldn't believe. And before Shabbat, they let her out. How do you understand this? So there is a lot of miracles. So what the speciality of, my grandfather Rabbi Chaim Pito, one day, there was no whiskey. There was no arak for the Hilula of Rabbi Chaim Pito. My grandfather was celebrating the Hilula of his grandfather Rabbi Chaim Pito the first. And you know what he did? He took the bottle, he covered the bottle, you don't see nothing. And he started to give to everybody. People couldn't believe. He gave more than 10 bottles. How there was 10 bottles in one bottle? No one understands. So, what the problem? So, when I was in Brazil, 3 years ago, I was with William Marciano. We were by Eike Rahmani. And after receiving people, so he bring me a bottle of wine. We had dinner, and the wine finished. There was only a little bit of wine. So I told them, wherefore here, we will I will give you a little bit, few drops each one. And it was only nothing, few drops. But when we came to William Marciano, there was no whiskey anymore. No wine. I mean, we did like that, nothing. So Mr. Rahmani said, well, we will give him a little bit from each one of us. I said, no. What the bracha that each one of us took, it's his. He needs from that bottle. But there is nothing. We did this, nothing. I said, we try again. I took the bottle. I said, Rabbi Chaim Pinto, do like you did. And I went like that, and they had some wine came. From where? I mean, Eike Rahmani is alive with his brother. They are in São Paulo. You can ask them. And Mamash, you see the wine. We were shocked. And he had more than what we had. From where that wine came? I don't know. So you see, so what the speciality? Why we make a big deal of Hanukkah? America, the oil remained 8 days. So what? For that you do a celebration every year for 8 days. No mourning, no. We are not allowed to cry. We are not allowed. If somebody dies, we are not allowed to give him a speech because we have to be happy. So why? You know why? Because the light is the secret of the Torah. That light is the Torah. Because all the meaning of the Greek is that we will forget the Torah, that we will not respect Torah and mitzvot. And the light represents the Torah. Ki ner mitzvah v'Torah or. The mitzvah is like a candle, and the light it's the Torah. The Torah is light, Esh HaTorah, the fire of the Torah. The Torah was given through the fire. So this is the reason why on Hanukkah we celebrate Hanukkah, the light of Hanukkah. Why? To remember that each one of us should be a Hanukkah, with Torah, with mitzvot. To remember what the Greek wanted to do to us. And Baruch Hashem give us back the oil. Give us back oil, it Hashemen. The oil in Hebrew, it Hashemen. Hashemen, it's the same letter of Neshama. Neshama, Hashemen. Shemona, 8. So you have the same letters of Shemona, Hashemen, Neshama. That was the message of Hashem. I give you back the Neshama. I give you back the soul. Now, light the soul with the Torah. Kiner nishmat v'Torah or. The neshama that the man had, he can light it only with the oil, with the light of the Torah. Otherwise, we lose. That's what the Greek wanted. The Greek wanted that we have no neshama. You know, my grandfather Rabbi Chaim Vital said, the same way that the body needs to eat food to live, the neshama, the soul, needs Torah to live. Without the Torah, you have only the body, not the neshama. My friend, I wish you all the best. God bless you. Shana Tova. You know, on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, the books are open. And they close only on Hanukkah. So we can wish Shana Tova till after Hanukkah. Not Shana Tova, Shana Tova, or Shana Tova. So that's Hashem bless you.